The permanent secretary of the Ministry of Information and Communications donated Veronica buckets and sanitary packs to 31 villages in Sowa Chiefdom in Kono. The deputy head of media of the Sierra Leone police has engaged this medium on some of the restrictions made by government and the Sierra Leone police to help the fight of COVID-19. Sierra Leone Association of Journalists / President speaks to this medium the danger of fake news during this pandemic. Now for the full news with Maria Tudukure.
Hello viewers and welcome to this episode of NewsWatch Online TV News Hour. I am Maria Tudukure. The Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Information and Communication, Augustine Sheku, on behalf of the government has donated Veronica buckets and sanitary packs to 31 villages in Sowa Chiefdom in a bid to help fight this COVID-19.
This is Sukudu Town, section headquarters of Sawa Fiama, with 32 villages and an estimated population of 15,000 people. It is a border town with Guinea. The last assessment visit by Augustine Sheku was 2 weeks ago. The time he was here, Sierra Leone had not recorded any corona case.
Two key things the way you be mentioned. One that the wash thing there for wash hand, I know accessible.
Two key things you mentioned were hand washing facilities, which were not accessible considering inconvenient level of our people and security. As a result of our report, security has been restored at Bumbukuro, but I will again raise that in the next ONS meeting for further support. So based on the list that was presented to me of 32 villages, government has procured these buckets, soap and tissue for distribution.
So government decide for buy renting them, when the buckets then the soap and then the tissue where you go share to each village.
Collective adherence to government's directives and health precautions are amongst the best ways to prevent the coronavirus. Section Chief of Sawa Fiama, Tambamatia Tenga Kanawa, extended his gratitude to the Bureau administration for being proactive, citing the popular saying, "Prevention is better than cure."
According to white man, say prevention is better than cure. But if you be not sit down, they come for done away.
According to white people, prevention is better than cure. So if he had sat and allowed the coronavirus to strike the country as the Ebola and the 11-year civil war did without protection, it would have been more dangerous. But God did it for us to direct the president to find ways and means. May he live long, because if you have a responsible government, it will be quick to identify problems affecting the people.
Because if you're going to get a responsible government, it will quick identify problems we get for affecting people there.
The senior section chief of South Chiefdom, Francis Kaokona, is very conscious of the devastation the pandemic has caused globally. He called on Sierra Leoneans to embrace the preventive measures, which may, however, be considered harsh. He compared the situation now to the Ebola outbreak.
Europe, they all be supportive, so, but now they don't face it. So where is our support?
Even Europe supported us, isn't it? But now it has adversely affected them. So where is our support? The support is to abide by the measures instituted by authorities. If we do so, God will protect us. We are more pleased with the fact that coronavirus does not kill like Ebola. If it had been so, we would have concluded that this is the end of the world, because we know Ebola will always spare 3 out of 100 people. That is exactly why we should not get tired to wash our hands.
The chiefs here appear to know more about how to prevent themselves and their people, regardless of their resource constraints. The hand-washing materials delivered to them are for distribution to all the 32 villages within Sowa Chiefdom. From the Diamondiferous district of Kono, Eastern Sierra Leone.
The Deputy Head of Media of Sierra Leone Police, Samuel Sayo Conte, has engaged this medium on some police restrictions made by the government and the Sierra Leone Police to help fight this pandemic in the country.
The Sierra Leone Police, as per constitutional mandate, we are responsible, among other things, to enforce or implement measures, regulations, codes or principles from government. So as regards the COVID-19, it is the responsibility of the security sector to enforce whatever regulations that have been put in place by the government. So in that regard, the Sierra Leone police, we have a very unique operational order, which for the layman we call it operational plan, as to how we should work so that everybody in this country will be safe and for the disease not to spread faster. Also, the management of the Sierra Leone police thought it very necessary to strategize from the provincial level, district level, coming down to Freetown. We have all our regional commanders from the AIGs, that is the Assistant Inspector Generals, the local unit commanders, coming down to the rank and file. We have mechanisms that we've put in place for people to become compliant. If you say that this coronavirus is something that you will joke with, trust me, the law will not take it light with you, because we all know from the advices from the Ministry of Health and also from other MDAs, this is a very deadly virus, and we are enforcing those regulations for the betterment of all and sundry. Social distancing, avoiding beaches, avoiding crowded areas is very much paramount for enforcement. So the only institution that is very much paramount in enforcing those regulations is the Sierra Leone police, among other institutions like the military. So from the crossing border areas, we have what we refer to as constant security mandated checkpoints, which are being supervised by the police and the military. We have static patrols, we have mobile patrols, we have vehicular patrols, we also have foot patrols. All put together, these are just mechanisms to curtail the massive movement of people. In connection with the present curfew, it is very much timely, because according to section 29 subsection 5 of Act number 6 of 1991, which is our constitution, the president has the mandate, yes, to promulgate or to pronounce what we call public emergency.
Sierra Leone Association of Journalists / President Ahmed Sahid Nasrallah has spoke to this medium the dangers of fake news during this pandemic.
Well, fake news or misinformation undermines the effort the government is making, and also the media is making, to help to combat the COVID-19 in Sierra Leone. In this kind of situation, this kind of pandemic, what we want is for people to get the wrong information. If they get the wrong information, then definitely they will not be able to respond or to do what they are expected to do in terms of making their own contribution to help to prevent the spread of the virus. So fake news is as deadly as the disease itself. Sometimes it even kills before the disease comes through. We've had instances wherein some people have died because of fake news or misinformation. The incident of a college journalist who lost his wife because of that. And there are also other instances where people got the wrong information. At some point people said you have to switch off your phone at night, this kind of information. During this kind of pandemic, these are the things that we need, because their responsibility as media people is to ensure that the people get the correct information, the right information, and also so that they'll be able to be informed and know what to do in terms of playing their own part in helping the government and its partners to combat the COVID-19.
Patriotic Youth Sierra Leone has donated Veronica buckets and soaps to deprived communities in the western part of Freetown. Hindolo Stevens is the communications person for the organization and spoke to us about this.
An organization and as young people will decide for come here this afternoon for render we own help in a very little way, but we know say the people them appreciate very much. We all don't hear about the coronavirus pandemic, and for now the thing don't kind of settle. And so we thought I'm fit as an organization, young people for them to come together with the help of Evangelical Fellowship of Sierra Leone. For let we do some small donation, because definitely subsequently we definitely come. Then we engage people. We see say we get vulnerable communities now within the Freetown municipality. So we target these communities from where we work in Jimmy. So let me see how we go talk to the elders and let them give permission. And we target the community and we talk to the people and say, let them just accept this for now. Definitely we get for the talk to organizations then, for let them help me out, because we agenda very positive and good, for let them see how they will come to the aid, so we will give more buckets. If not to every household, but to put on strategic places there within Kube, or make people then adhere to the rules and regulations and wash their hands frequently. We don't target this Kube, from there we go to Jimmy, and then we go to so that 3 communities are for now we don't target. Yeah, for the one that we get for now, it's about 250,000. Now then we put together and we decide to do this to donation.
So now recognize we say the place where this thing is, and indeed we highly need them here. We not been get people there where they staff or provide for them. For long I see them buckets and at the effort of this man, with my effort, we then put it with as their own understanding. I get for collect 1,000 for long get to them get there. For long we not left now the system out. Because now the same thing we been carrying during Ebola time. And we thank God, although they be careless Ebola, we go could die be happen, but we now not one day get victim, say Ebola over. So we say bravo to we say. But all that now the we efforts, especially we will live here, not only the traders, and then they can go. But for we when I will dwell, we need a lot from the government, but we know they get no assistance from the government. For so they get help because of the guys slum in area. If anything happen now, we first them for consider because now we are the lowest, now the government.
This mean a lot to me. For me, organization can donate so we don't get any kind pandemic here in the world. I believe saying a great thing they don't do to me. They don't can and sensitize you how for take measures for more no get sick. So gladly for that we then can donate to.
Now let's go for a quick break.
COVID-19 is an infectious disease caused by a new coronavirus introduced to humans for the first time. It is spread from person to person, mainly through the droplets produced when an infected person speaks, coughs, or sneezes. These droplets can land in the mouths or noses of people who are nearby. These droplets are too heavy to travel far in the air. They only travel approximately 1 meter and quickly settle on surfaces. This is the reason person-to-person spread is happening mainly between close contacts. The exact time that the virus can survive on surfaces is not yet known. So it is wise to clean surfaces regularly, particularly in the vicinity of people infected with COVID-19. Hands touch many surfaces, which can be contaminated with the virus. You should therefore avoid touching your eyes, nose, or mouth, since contaminated hands can transfer the virus from the surface to yourself. When coughing or sneezing, cover your mouth and nose with the bend of your elbow or use a disposable tissue. If a tissue is used, discard it immediately into a closed bin. The most effective way to prevent the spread of the new coronavirus is to clean your hands frequently with an alcohol-based hand rub or soap and water. This will eliminate the virus if it is on your hands. Stay healthy and prevent the spread of COVID-19.
Welcome back. You're still watching NewsWatch Online TV News Hour. I am Maria Tudukuri. On the 5th of December 2019, the Sierra Leone Association of Journalists Electoral Commission, SLAJEC, received a petition from Team Kai Fona on election malpractice. SLAJEC has come up with their inquiry, and this is what James Tamba-Lebi, head of commission, had to say about their findings.
It needs a little bit of background, and the background was that WIMSAL is one of the affiliate members of SLAJ, and so by the constitution of SLAJ, the commissioner, the electoral commission of SLAJ, is in charge of conducting elections for WIMSAL. So 3 deadlines passed. The mandate of the executive that has just gone out elapsed, and so there was the need to conduct an election after 3 deadlines, after 3 dates passed, and they could not conduct an election. So on the 4th one, we said we mindful of the fact that we need to live up to basic requirements. We need to conduct this election. So, but there were lots of controversies from the start. And the key thing was, first, there was no funding for the election for 3 consecutive dates, and then finally they decided that they would go ahead with the elections. The problem with the commission, electoral commission, is that it is not in charge of voter register. So the commissioner has to rely on the organization to produce the list of eligible voters. In this case, what happened is that the vice president of the previous executive is also contesting, and apparently she was in charge of organizing the elections. Well, not organizing the election, organizing the AGM, the annual general meeting of WIMSAL, and the election was part or highlight of that AGM. So one controversy we had was that the outgone president and the outgone secretary general, we are not speaking with one voice. They keep giving us contradictory messages, contradictory documents, contradictory information, and so we knew there were some challenges. Now, to come to the matter, on the eve of the election, we did say that in as much as they are in charge of putting together the list of eligible voters, we would like to see a situation wherein they will back that list with evidence of membership and evidence of payment of dues. What they did was to give off evidence of payment of dues, but they did not provide evidence of membership. So we are thinking that when we eventually get to Kenema, those documents will be handed over. So we went to Kenema on the 29th, because the election was held on the 30th. There were timelines, including timeline for petition. So as soon as we reached Kenema, we received the petition from one camp, raising issues with the ineligibility or otherwise, or eligibility of some members in the list.
Now let's join Howard Dauda for NewsWatch Entertainment.
Hello and welcome to NewsWatch Online TV Entertainment segment. For the sake of the interview, can you tell us your name?
First of all, thank you very much. My name is Leonard Francis Masakoy. That's my real name. Okay. My stage name is I Tribe.
Okay.
Hashtag Sugar Boy. The name will come so.
Wow.
Let's just leave it at that for now.
Can you give us a brief background about yourself?
In general?
Yes, in general.
Well,
in terms of academic.
Yeah, I was born in Bo Town.
Okay.
To be precise, yeah. And I came to Freetown. Like you said, I was in DV for camp. I came to Freetown. I think it was in 1994 or 1995, and I went to Services Children's School at Wilberforce, and then Albert Academy, then FBC. Yeah, and then here I am, a musician.
Okay, the name I Tribe, where you got it from?
It means that I am a whole tribe, and I can speak different languages.
Like seriously?
Like musically, it's not.
Okay.
It's not, yeah, it's
because I want us to
like
start speaking Timini,
not
Limba.
actually. That okay. I can actually do R&B, Okay. I can rap. As a matter of fact, I started rapping before singing.
Okay.
And then I can do lovers rock. I can do different genres of music. So I decided, okay, I'm a whole tribe and I can do different things. So I-Tribe means incredible tribe.
Okay.
Yeah. My breakthrough song was with Cardinero, which is Hakuna Matata. Now, when I went to Project Fame to represent Sierra Leone in 2013, and then I came back. At first, I was in doubt that if I could really go into music. I knew I had the talent, I knew I had the voice, but you know, our parents back then, all they wanted was for you to go to school, go to college, you know, put on your tie and go to work. For me, it was boring. So I decided, okay, I want to do music, but I was skeptical about it because, you know, the community that we're in, your friends would tell you you're not serious and stuff like that. But when I came back from Project Fame, and then I was like, okay, if they could choose me to represent the whole country, that means that I have something. So I started working. My breakthrough song was with Cardinero, Hakuna Matata. It was a song that it was in Caloc's
Who wrote that song?
compilation.
Because there is a lot of, you know,
Well, the chorus.
ownership
Yeah,
thing
the song was
about the song.
actually owned by Caloc's. It was
DJ
Caloc's who was doing
Caloc's.
DJ Caloc's,
Okay.
who was doing his compilation by the time.
Okay.
So he called me to do a hook, meaning the chorus on the song.
Okay.
And then we sent him. He was like, okay, do this thing for me. I want to send it to Kyle, so he'll rap on it.
Okay.
And I did it, and then he sent it. Kyle liked it, so
Okay.
it became a hit song. Yeah.
Okay, tell us generally about your career as a musician. What are some of the challenges you're going through?
Well, I'm glad you said some of the challenges because there are lots of challenges.
Okay.
But as a whole, when you're into music here in Sierra Leone, sometimes people think you're not, you know, there's something else you could be doing instead of music. You know, to put out good stuff, you always have to. It's always difficult because financially that is the main issue, because music goes, there's nothing that you cannot do music without money.
Okay.
So what we actually face as musicians is that putting out good stuff, there's no laid down finance for you, you know, for you to promote it, to promote your stuff, to put out good stuff, you know, to stand out as an artist who's up there. You know, you have to like go through a lot of hurdles for you to put out one good stuff. You know, the money comes, don't get me wrong, but so when the money comes, it takes time, and when it comes, you have to put out more good stuff. So I would say that is the main challenge. There are also other challenges with the fans. Sometimes you're doing it for people, for people, the appreciation, for people to actually, you know, appreciate what you're doing. But I would say it's so far it has been a good journey, because there are also some people who would appreciate you 100%. There are people who will support what you're doing. So that for me is an achievement, for you to be doing something and people love you. People call your phone, send you messages on Facebook, on Instagram, just to appreciate what you're doing.
Okay, now what's the relationship between you and KME?
I was a signed artist at KME for 2 years, but my contract got finished, and then I decided not to sign anymore, because I wanted to, you know, I just thought it is time for me to handle my own stuff.
Okay.
So yeah, I can.
Okay, take us through the Waterside Stone.
Oh, the song Waterside Stone. It's a song I recorded with Young Lee. Yeah, I recorded that song 9 months before we released it.
Okay.
Yeah, I recorded it, and then.
So actually, you own that song.
Yeah, I wrote the song. I wrote it. I wrote it. It was in my phone. Okay. And then I was going up and about with it. And then Rose listened to the song and said, "This is a nice song. What are you doing with it?" I initially wrote it for somebody else.
Okay.
But when she came and she was like, "This song, I love this song. This song is a very look because I'm a workaholic and I record songs all the time. So sometimes when I record them, I just put them down. That's it. I just put it. I say I'm like, okay, for this song, I envision something in my head. For this song, this video has to come out. For this song, I have to get this particular setting before the song comes out. So that was how I was attached to it. And then she was like, oh, I need you to give this song. I need this song. I'm like, okay, I'm going to give you the song, but I'm also going to be in this song. So,
okay, now take us through your experience during your time with KME.
It was a great experience with KME. The CEO is somebody who's passionate about music, which helps. You know, everybody at KME was like, KME was a family. It was like a family, you know. It was a great experience. We had ups and downs, but it was a great experience as a whole. Being there, I would say I did not regret joining KME. Yeah.
So what next I tried?
Well, you know, I just released my song, my new single, This Kind Love, which is making wave all over the place right now. And then I'm about to release an independent song. The audio and the video is about to come out. I shot it two days ago, and then the videographer is coming to me, so it should be out by the 20th. Yeah. But there's a lot of things in the pipeline, but just everybody knows now is this pandemic, this Korean thing that is going on.
So are you going to do something first for the pandemic?
I already did something which would be coming out. I did it with girls. It's not only.
So why girls? Why are you so focused on girls?
Because I'm a feminist.
You're a feminist?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because I'm a feminist, I love girls.
Okay.
And I just think, for me, I just think equality is key.
Okay,
it's a must. Yeah, so I did it with girls. It's actually going to just focus on girls, but it's also the messages are there, so everybody could relate to it. But it's mainly to educate girls about the pandemic, what and what to do, what and what not to do, you know, to stay safe.
Okay, thank you very much for joining us in this edition of NewsWatch Entertainment segment.
You're most welcome.
Thank you very much for joining us on this episode of NewsWatch Online TV News app. Please do not forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on our Facebook page, which are both NewsWatch Online TV SL. I have been your presenter, Maria Tudukure. Stay safe. Bye.